Hello everyone, my name is Nicole and I am the parent support worker for the Niagara Catholic District School Board Early On Child and Family Centers. As you know, last week we discussed the very last chapter of Dr. Jane Clinton's book, Love Builds Brains. I'd like to take this week to share some key messages that I have taken away from this book that I hope you will too. So for those of you who are in the book club, this is going to be our last post and therefore your last chance to comment below for a chance to win your very own copy of the book. I will be drawing the name on Friday, so be sure to watch out for any notifications in case you have won. But in terms of our summary, let's get started. So our first key point that I'd like to share from the novel is that connection is key. I think this is one of the loudest messages within this book, whether Dr. Jean was referring to self-regulation, attachment, stress, or mental health. Her lasting message, I suppose, was just to find connection. From birth, babies rely on us to survive. They literally rely on the connection that we form with them as they cry, as they giggle, and as they explore or sleep. And because of that secure attachment we've created through that serve and return interaction, our child feels safe to explore the world around them without as much of our guidance. And we touched upon adolescent years to remind us that even when our children begin to explore outside of their connection with us, they still and always will need us. So if you're worried about your child's education in this unpredictable year, or if you're worried about their well-being, just remember that one of the very best things you can offer your child is connection. Ensure that your eyes light up when you see them every morning and every night. Remind them that you love them and that they are safe. The second key point I want to share today is self-regulation needs co-regulation. So we discussed the importance of our kids learning social emotional skills before entering school. We know that even if a child is great with their numbers and their alphabet, they are going to struggle in school if they haven't learned how to self-regulate and play well with others, right? So while self-regulation is something that's going to develop over a lifetime, it's beginning in those very early years of life. And it's important for parents to remember that self-regulation really begins as co-regulation. So not only are our children learning from us and picking up our self-regulation skills, but at times they quite literally need us to help them regulate their emotions through that co-regulation. So this might look like, helping your child calm down during a meltdown, even when you feel like having a meltdown yourself. In those moments, you are regulating your own emotions to help your child regulate theirs. So you are lending your calm, right? And then these skills you teach them in those moments become the tools that they use later in life when they begin to self-regulate. The third key point is that behavior is communication. So this message comes to us from Dr. Jean with help from Dr. Stuart Shanker, who says that stress behavior is not misbehavior. So this is a key message as it reminds us to consider that all children are different. So once we start to think about a child's temperament and realize that behavior is just their form of communication, we can begin reframing our reaction to that behavior to really figure out what is actually going on for them instead of, reprimanding them for acting inappropriately. Our kids will not manipulate us, and they are going to do well if they can. So when there's an issue, if your child is behaving in a way that seems inappropriate, ask yourself, what is going on for my child? What is causing this reaction right now? And then help them through it. Remember to always ask yourself, are you correcting more than you are connecting with your child? The fourth point here is progress, not perfection. So this book has offered a lot of advice. I hope that you've taken a lot away from, but it's important to remember this mantra that We need to prioritize progress over perfection. You are not expected to get everything right all the time. Just be sure to constantly reflect and not give up. After listening to chapter 10 about screen time, you shouldn't feel defeated every time you put on a video of Baby Shark to distract your kids and keep them busy. But can you replace one bad habit at a time with a good habit? Try to take this approach. Can you progress towards finding different ways to keep your kids busy when needed? The last point I'd like to share is that there is hope. So I quote Dr. Jean one last time here as I say, a brain is capable of change and is enhanced by experience. This means that kids have experiences early, but if these experiences haven't been the greatest, there's hope that new experiences can rewire the brain. My theory, Dr. Jean's theory, is that based on brain research, the brain is plastic throughout life. It is never too late. So within our chapter summaries, we did not discuss neuroplasticity very much, but Dr. Jean used this within her book to explain how a brain changes with experience, both good and bad. And even if the experiences early in life were quote-unquote bad, it's not too late. And because of this knowledge, we know that kids can be resilient later in life, even if they didn't show resilience later or early on. With the proper support and protective factors and that inner drive to overcome, they can develop and show resilient behavior. We know that if a child doesn't form a secure attachment with a parent early on in life, that doesn't mean it can't be salvaged. Likewise, if a child is adopted in their toddler years or later, that does not mean that they are incapable of attaching to their caregivers. So that concludes the key messages that I took away from this chapter. If you've been following along with these videos or by reading the book, please comment below and let me know what your key take-home message was from these chapters. What's one thing that you're going to remember, or what's one thing that shocked you, or maybe one thing that you were really glad to have validated? If you're watching this from within our book club, I want to say thank you for listening, thank you for participating, and thank you for taking time to learn about how you can build your child's brain with love. If you want to continue learning with me, be sure to like our Facebook page and follow along with our Parent and Caregiver Corner videos. Next week, we are going to start answering your burning questions or discussing hot parenting topics. We will no longer have a Mindful Mini to follow these videos, but you can expect a relevant graphic to be shared on our Instagram each week. I am very excited for our next adventure, and I can't wait to see you there. Bye for now.